This video we're going to talk about init states, and init states are useful for when you define an animation on an object but you don't necessarily want it to start up at either the default starting state. So what usually happens is you'll define an animation state from 0 to 100 and it will start at state 0 just by default. But by changing the init value, you can tell it to start up at state 20. And what I mean by start up is if you do file open or you deploy the interface on your selected hardware of choice. To illustrate that visually, let's go ahead and draw a box. And of course, I'm going to animate it. So the first thing I do is group it. And I'll just, move it down here as my start state. I think I'll make it grow. So I think I'll make this box grow up like a little graphic equalizer bar or something like that. So I'll call this bar and define that as state 0, and maybe I'll scale it up here and define that as state 100. Okay, and using my roller mouse in either of the input fields or by selecting the animation in the animation pane, I can get this slider and actually preview my animation. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. What if though, for whatever reason, you don't want it to start up at the default state 0. What if, for example, we want it to start up at state 50, somewhere in the middle right there, right? Well, notice that the state is 50, but the init is still 0. So I find the best, easiest way to set the init value is click inside and use the roller mouse to choose one, or just simply type a value. Okay, and it doesn't necessarily have to match the current state. If, for example, we wanted it to start up on 60, we just change that init value to 60. And then when it starts up, it will do whatever it is at state 60. Now, before I save this as a model, so you can see it start up at state 60, I just want to show you one more thing. If you right-click the animation name, not only do you get other options, but down here you've got the reset all to init state, and that will just set the current state of the animation to match the init state. Alright, so if I had not changed the init state and I do a file save and I reopen it, it would have opened at state 0, just like this. But let's quickly save this and then reopen it and confirm that it indeed uses the init state and starts instead at state 60. Alright, so to do that, I'll just do a file save and call this init example, and I need a .dsn. Okay, and then let's just go ahead and open that file. It's in my recent document, so I just click it, and sure enough, if we select the object, its state is not 0, it's 60. So that's using init states to quickly set up or initialize certain animations in your model.